So that's a great way to start, I guess. Well, hello everybody out there in YouTube, I guess, since that's where it's just gonna be. But hey, if you're wondering what the hell this is, we're gonna call this Sunday Funday, as it says down there, because we find it fun to actually go see movies and everything. And well, we're actually gonna talk about a movie we saw just today. Hell, I don't know. Well, that's awesome. Can't even see my time. Alright, yeah. About 12 minutes ago. Just finished watching it.
So it's still fresh on our minds.
Oh yeah, we gotta get it fresh and gotta get it out. And if you say this is kind of a rip on Cinema Snob's midnight screenings, or Team Snob, or Stone Gremlin Productions, whichever one you want to call them, maybe, yeah. But hey, we respect them, and I'll say this much, like, I watch all their stuff. Sometimes just get an idea of whether or not if I want to see a certain movie. But out of all the movies, we're going to start this whole big long series, well, hopefully big long series. We're starting with Hardcore Henry, a movie that I'm pretty sure nobody...
Of all things.
Yeah. A movie that I don't think anybody really knew about, because even at our theater... What was there, like 7 people including us? Yeah, something like that.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, something. But besides the supposed lack of anybody caring about it, why don't we just say real quick, without getting into any spoilers, what we thought about it, and I'll let you lead us off.
It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty awesome. It had action, bit of sci-fi, a bit of magic somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, they never really explained that, but okay. It's also a bit of
boobs. Hey, I'm a guy, I can't help it. It's first name, boobs!
You just had to notice that, huh?
Oh, of course. Always gonna notice the boobs.
It's also a bit of a zombie movie feel at some point, and it felt like I was watching someone play a first-person shooter. And it was just wild. Like I said, it's just wow.
Just a wow. World of Warcraft. Oh, yeah, I would agree with you. It was a wild little movie. And I will say it's probably a movie that was produced on a shoestring kind of budget. Well, probably shoestring to us, but probably in Russia, which I'm pretty sure is where it's produced. Considering, like, almost the entire cast was Russian and everything.
And took place in Russia.
Yeah, the director was Russian. Well, there was, like, 2 non-Russians. The lead female and Charlotte Copley? I don't know. A guy from District 9 and Chappie. Pretty much he's in every Neil Blomkamp movie. And he usually will make all Neil Blomkamp's movies. I know you don't really know about him, but yeah, he's awesome. And I will go ahead and give a little spoiler. He was awesome in this movie. Whenever he appeared. But yes, the movie was really damn action-packed. Jumping all over the place. I will say, if I can give any little negatives early on, the movie's aimless. It wanders from little plot to little plot device there. This is the one over there. Oh, and then like, oh, this one needs to work too.
Yeah, like I said, it felt a bit like watching someone play a first-person shooter. You know, it's like, okay, you need to get here. Oh, but now that we got you here, you need to go over to this other place.
Oh yeah, I would think that would be a perfect way to describe this movie. It's like probably a really good, I wouldn't say Call of Duty, because Call of Duty seems kind of wrong because it's not military in any way. The light's a little fucked up. Oh, I didn't do shit. Okay. Fuck the lights.
Yeah, the sun's starting to go down here in a couple hours.
Well, actually, it's more because clouds, but oh well. But yeah, it is a first-person shooter foremost. And I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it was a first-person shooter. But like I said, not Call of Duty, not Halo, because of course you're not finding aliens or whatever the hell they're finding in the new Halo games. Just a really good first-person shooter. What you would have seen probably in the early 2000s. Maybe a little Deus Ex here and there. I know you probably never played a single Deus Ex game. Yeah, multiplayer only girl here. Just can't teach them.
And Minecraft.
It's multiplayer, pretty much.
Well, we're talking about like shooter games, mostly.
Well, yeah, but what I'm talking about when it comes to like campaigns, I'm talking about like when in terms of like if I were to compare this to any game's campaign, probably like Deus Ex, which is very cyberpunk. Shadowrun, I think, would also be a good way to describe this. Although not the Shadowrun first person shooter, fuck that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we've gone on long enough about video games and first-person shooters and whatnot.
Never such a thing. But yeah, it's a first-person shooter, a very well done one, except for the fact it just has like no plot. But I will say that doesn't really like detract completely from this movie. Where other movies it can just completely derail something like this. This one kind of, the plot is there just to move the story forward, and I think it works for its own sake. If you're somebody who just wants high auteur art, you're going to get nothing from this movie. But the movie's not made for those people. This is made for
those who like shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
It's just a fun action film. It's like very little actual plot. It's like it's really just people getting shot and things blowing up and
people getting stabbed, dismembered.
I was like, I'm not even really that big of an action film fan, but even I like shoot 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
Even I thought it was fun. And, Hardcore Henry, that was fun.
And I know some people may kind of ding it a little bit because they could see it as a bit of a gimmick in a way. Because really, I can see this very easily being one of the first movies are considered a VR movie. Because I know you don't keep up with game consoles and stuff like that, but one of the big things going on with computer technology is virtual reality. Yes, Virtual Boy is coming back with color, actually. But I don't think it's one of those that it's going to actually be a gimmick. Like, even with VR, what I've seen of it, I wouldn't always call it a gimmick. So this movie, it'd be hard to call it a gimmick. Now, would I want every movie that I'm going to see from here on out be like this? No. Let's have the English patient in first person. I think it's even more fucking boring now. But, no, this is something I think worked for the movie. It worked for how its story was built and how it was set up. Maybe some of the action scenes... Oh, and that is one thing I totally failed to even speak about, is that I will say the action scenes, I was really thinking when I first saw previews and trailers for this, is like, oh, this is going to make me sick. But hey, it looks like it might be fun, and really, I got a little queasy, like near the end, because it's just a big fucking brawl. But it wasn't to the point where I was like, oh, gonna throw up, gonna puke, It was just like a little queasiness, and then it dissipated pretty quickly. I think the director or the cinematographer, whoever was in charge of this aspect of it, really was looking forward and going, oh no, this is going to be a little too much. We need to kind of tone this down and let the shot be a little steadier. And that is the thing. You would think that this would be a shaky cam like you would see from Paranormal Activity and all that.
Or Cloverfield.
Yeah, Cloverfield.
And it was a bit Cloverfield-ish. There were a couple times, like, I had to kind of look away. I was like, okay, getting a little bit nauseous. Especially during some action scenes, but it wasn't too terribly bad.
Yeah, it wasn't like where Cloverfield were literally to kind of cut down on the fact that you don't see the monster a whole lot. They shake the camera a bunch. I mean, it's not as bad as the Asylum version they did of that, where they just literally cut the screen all staticky and shit. It's like, no, this one still has the shakes, but usually it's to kind of give you a scope of what's happening and how he's doing things, which it works. It strangely works. I mean, still brutal as shit, but it fucking works. It really does. I was totally surprised by it. I was like, this works without making me think I need a vom bucket. Because
Way to put that.
Yeah, well, that would be a bad thing to... Oh, Goku went off.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, it's like, well, with all this, constantly jumping around and all these different elements, you would think, oh, well, it doesn't really know what it wants to be, what it wants to do, but somehow it actually works.
Yeah.
It somehow works, like all that stuff they do.
Yeah, through all the shit that's happening on screen, it comes together. It's...
That twist. Oh my god.
We'll have to start getting into spoilers here in a second.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's some things that just stay together somehow. The plot. And, like, I will say this much. I do know that this movie was probably written around the action scenes. I think we were just discussing this like maybe 10 minutes ago, if that much. And that's not a bad thing to do, because some movies are better that way. But I would say that because, like, there's whole points to where when there's not action coming on, exposition, dumping it on you real quick. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Charlotte Copley, he's in this a lot. And just to let you know, he has probably some of the most hilarious deaths. And yes, that is with an S. He dies multiple times.
Yeah, we're getting a little spoilery now.
Yeah. I'm about to say, I'll go ahead and, like, maybe put something that says spoilers, but if not, it's like, people gotta know, it's like, when it says review, it's like, oh yeah, it's probably gonna go into spoilers. Hey, at least we stayed like 2-3 minutes not spoiling it. That's gotta be some kind of record.
Yeah, I just think we can, like, just give our general thoughts and maybe give it a rating real quick, and then be like, okay, here come the spoilers. You don't want to be spoiled? Hit the back button.
Nah, fuck it. We'll get ratings at the end. My feelings about this, like, oh yeah, this is how I feel about this shit.
You have to work for it, huh?
Oh yeah. I ain't gonna be nice like that. You kidding? That requires work.
Don't worry, I'll work on him.
But yeah, I would say the one bad thing I think is Charlotte Copley does steal the show sometimes. If I can give a little also little negative. Yeah, he is everything.
Yeah, he's all different avatar thingies or whatever they are.
Yeah,
like
he kind of describes them as avatars, that they're pretty much androids that he controls because his real self is paralyzed because of something that should have killed him, but it didn't. Again, the movie kind of really doesn't explain. It's just kind of like, oh, this is what happened, and yeah, it happened. Okay. Dump with the exposition. But he's fucking awesome in this. He's a hard-nosed cop. He's a hippie. He's freaking... what the hell's his name?
He's a big old horn dog at one point.
Oh, yeah.
In a brothel with, like, 5 chicks. And, like, getting high. Like, he was, like, snorting. I don't know what the hell that was.
That was probably cocaine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So if he's snorting meth, he's gonna have, like, no lungs. Well,
I don't know that much about drugs. Well, I don't do drugs.
Well, you say, like, I know so much about cocaine. Like, just give me here. But,
yeah, I follow the old slogan from school. Drug-free is the way to be.
Nah, it's a stupid slogan.
Hey, it worked for me.
People wouldn't think you're always drug-free, though. But
bite me.
Yeah, he's just an awesome character. Every time he shows up, you get a smile on your face. You're like, hey, he's back again. I will say, like, the first time he just pops the fuck up as a homeless guy after he just got his brains blasted out, it's a little, wait, what? And the movie kind of, and I do like that because the movie's playing with my expectations.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking with my head at times, but it ends up working. And also it helps that you have Charlotte Copley, who's, and I know I'm probably butchering his name, and I'm sorry if I am. I'm trying to, I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I'm a dumb American. I don't know how to pronounce anything that's foreign.
You're not a dumb American. You're an ignorant American.
Same difference. But,
well, ignorant, you don't know that you don't know any better.
Yeah. But yeah, he pops up, and he's always a ball. Now, there is the beginning of the movie where when Megan said about magic. There's a guy who's supposed to be the main bad guy. His name is Aiken, A-K-A-N, I think.
Aiken.
Yeah, Clay Aiken? I don't know.
Or something.
Looks like Clay Aiken. You know, Clay Aiken put on a white wig. There you go, that's him.
That looks nothing like Clay Aiken, but whatever.
Looks like a strangled beast of a creature. There's Clay Aiken for you. Sorry, Clay Aiken's an ugly motherfucker. Just can't help it. Calls it like I see it. But yeah, there's the guy who pops up who, like I said, his name is Akon. Akon, there we go. Let's call him Akon, because Akon was a horrible asshole of a singer, producer. But yeah, he pops up at the very beginning, and he's constantly like this thwart to Henry, who, of course, the movie's named after, even though the hardcore never really comes in. Which I'm kind of glad. I really didn't want to see like hardcore porn.
I think it's more referring to all the
action. Yeah, I know. I'm making a joke.
All the graphicness.
Oh, it's a joke, son. It's a joke.
Fight me.
But yeah,
it's probably no female or no male nudity.
Well, that's because this was written by a guy who obviously is very, very
There's
straight.
like lots of boobs.
Well, you said no male nudity.
I said no male nudity.
Yeah. Of course, he's only going to have...
Yeah, but there's plenty of boobs, though.
Well, yeah, he's not going to have male nudity, and he's a guy.
It's like, go ahead and go for it, dude. We need more male nudity in movies nowadays.
Well, there's also the issue of the MPAA, which I'm going to get into here in just a second, more dealing with that. But you cannot show certain things, like you can't show an erect dick, I think. You can show a flaccid one, but not an erect one, and it's different levels in which they measure whether or not if it's erect. The guy could literally be just flaccid, and he can't help it, though. It's long, and it's, you know, he can tie his shoes with it, and they say, oh no, that's an erect dick. No, if it is erect, it'd be poking you in the eyeball right now.
That's an image.
A guy would get all the men or women. Maybe both, who knows. But yeah, of course, it's a guy who directed the movie and guy who wrote the movie. It's gonna have mostly just female nudity, and I think there wasn't even male like asses.
Well, the thing's like there wasn't even really bush.
Yeah,
there was just boobs.
I think that also might again be something in Russia. Maybe Russia has some issue with bush. I don't know. You know how much I know about Russian cinema and how much they do certain things. But I know that the Russian cinema is a little bit more relaxed when it comes to violence than the MPAA, which is a fucking weirdo about it all, and sex as well. But the whole no bush and everything might be something that Russia can show without it becoming like, this is considered porn if you show vagina.
Who knows?
And besides, it would have been Russian, you know. Would you want to see Russian bush? It would have been frightening.
Well, I'm just commenting that I'm surprised.
Again, you don't want to see Russian bush.
I'm not saying that
there'd be Yetis in that.
I'm not saying that I want to. I'm just saying
you'd have to knock
that
off.
I'm surprised.
Again, I think it's probably something with the board who sees over the film in Russia. And how certain things they allow. I know they did some similar movie, which I'll get into in a second, because it's a big ass fucking tangent. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about Akon. Yeah, the magic thing that Megan was speaking about was the fact that he, for some reason, has like psychic abilities. So he's got telekinetic abilities.
Yeah, he's in touch with the Force.
Yeah, he can like pull up people and grab stuff and throw it at them, throw people around, which makes for some decent action scenes, though it kind of makes him that uber villain. He's the final boss that you got to kill. He's Makarov. Yeah, I think the best way to describe this would be the final level of Modern Warfare 3, which is just a big fucking shootout while you're in a Juggernaut suit. And you're just walking around mowing bitches through. And you just stab the final bad guy, who for some reason can't fucking die for no reason. Though I think you kill him because you like choke him and you stab him. Because one's not enough. But yeah, this guy has psychic powers, and like many things in this movie, never fucking explained. It's just there. It just exists in this world. I think they tried to hint that he had some kind of like augmentations,
like some kind of scientific enhancement thingy.
They never really went to even kind of depth on it.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really ruin your enjoyment of the movie, though.
No, it's just kind of one of those things you go, why is that? And then you're just like, okay, he has that. Just kind of accept it. Sort of like in Star Wars, you kind of have to accept the fact that you have a bunch of people who can fuck with people's heads and choke them because they feel like it. I still wish that Vader had went through with his promise saying that there's nothing more power, that the Death Star's not even as powerful as the power of the Force, and just like used to just crush the planet. Mm-hmm. But then Vader would probably be really worried about trying to go pee. Okay, don't use the Force. Don't use. Ah! I guess it would be painful. But oh, and I will say, if you are a wee bit squeamish about blood, don't go see this. This is a fucking gory ass movie. You see a dude get his nuts literally crushed in a dude's hand, and
then a nightstick
shoved down his throat. Though you don't see it go all the way through, because probably they didn't have the effect ready or something, but you do see him pull it out, and it's just covered in gore. You see many heads explode. Dude gets thrown into a air conditioning fan, because we're playing Dead Rising now.
One guy gets a big metal plate looking thing right through his skull.
Yeah, that metal plate thing was called a plate.
No, it was like
a tray.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
it was like this big. Like, that was not a plate.
Well, that could be a serving plate. Yeah, people. This movie finds interesting and ingenuitive ways to murder motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. And it's actually kind of interesting. Sometimes they're like, oh, how are they going to... Oh, ooh.
Oh, we forgot to mention, it also has comedy.
Well, even the gore can almost be considered comedy at points, because just how over the top it is.
Yeah.
It is one of those movies, like, if people are getting to be prudes, this is ruining their youth. They're going to think they can do this. This movie is so over the top and totally does not take itself seriously that there's no way a kid's going to be like, oh, this is totally true to life.
Yeah, I still wouldn't recommend taking a kid to see this movie.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, it's like, but I know there's going to be prudes like, this is bad for the youth and it's corrupting our nations.
Yeah, Mr. Father of the Year was 3 5-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, we had an interesting, fun experience. I was about to say experiment. If it was an experiment, I would not suggest it.
Keep chugging this thing.
Yeah, we had a gentleman who decided to come into our theater. And mind you, our theater, like I said earlier, 7 people, including these. Actually, no, there's probably more than 7, probably about 8 or 9, including this guy and his 3 kids. Now, these kids are little. 4, maybe. I doubt the oldest one was even 5.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a hard R movie. This is a movie I'm pretty sure had to be edited down to an R. And it's still fucking hard. Why is he taking these kids to this movie? Did you not look on IMDb and go, oh, this movie has a lot of violence. It has nudity. It has drug use. It has this. It has this. It has everything, including a fucking kitchen sink. And a tank. Because why not a tank? Because I wanted a tank to be in it. I was like, you know what? They've done almost everything in it. Oh, there's a fucking tank. I was like, well, there's something. But yeah, this guy decided to bring his 3 kids, and like I said, the movie's fucking empty. And I usually wouldn't care too much, because at our theater there's a sign scene. I'm not sure if every theater in the United States is that way, but
yeah, it didn't used to be that way. Now they're doing that sign seating bullshit. It's like, why don't let people sit where the hell ever they want? What does it matter?
It matters when you have a very, very full theater, and you want to make sure it's like, oh, well, these three people want to sit together, so they're going to be able to sit together and not have this jacket, this is my seat. You know, it's to keep that from happening. Well, for smaller theaters or smaller venues, even like what we were seeing, it's like, I don't get why it's there, but yeah, you do it for one, you have to do it for all. They take a very public school kind of way of doing it.
All I gotta say about that.
But yeah, it's weird though that he could. I'm pretty sure whenever, because you get to choose. It's not like, oh, you're just assigned and we're just throwing you all in this one row and we're gonna fill it up as it goes. You decide where the fuck you want to go sit. And for some odd reason, not only did you decide, out of all these movies, I could take my kids to go see this, or this. Let's go see the Hard R movie, which obviously has hardcore in its title. I'm not going to ask anything about it. Obviously didn't have a single fucking movie clerk or anybody say something that's like, yeah, your kids are really too fucking young for this. But not only decided to go see that, but out of everything decided to sit on top of us?
Yeah. Because we got our tickets before he did. I think we were the first people to get our tickets.
No, we were like second or third. Because there was already a couple. There was like 3 grayed out spots on our thing. I was like, oh, these. Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, okay, you chose out of everywhere to sit. You chose to sit on top of people. And second of all, he made a deal to us. Or made a big deal. Kind of a bit of a fuss to us. Like, oh, those are our seats.
Like, you're sitting in our seats.
Who fucking cares? There's no one else here. There's like 2 or 3 rows of back behind us are clear. There's no one up there. Go sit there. Don't even give a shit. You can let your kids sit there and kick shit out of my seat, and I'll just punch you in the ass. Punch them in the ass. I won't punch them in the face and kick their ass. Do anything. I don't get that. I'm gonna shit here. Because totally, these people want other people seen on top of them. Because that's the type of movie experience they want, right?
Yeah, welcome to my Avengers experience. Yeah, before assigned seating, y'all, like, we went to see the Avengers, the first one, in theaters. Like, there's hardly anybody in there. It was a weekday. It was, like, the middle of the day.
Yeah.
At that, so. And all of a sudden, these 2 jackholes just come and sit right next. It's like, oh my god, seriously? It's like, there's other sitting. Go sit somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not that rant.
Like I said, that's the time you always go to Taco Bell beforehand and you just load up on bean burritos. You rip so much ass.
I was prepared to get into a war over the
armrest?
Yes.
Well, so you're doing this. I'm like, okay, either she's waiting him to give her head or it's an armrest. I'm not sure which yet.
Yeah, I was prepared to get into a war over the armrest.
Yeah. Oh, well, but despite the fact that this guy decided to bring his 3 very young children to a obviously not good to bring kids to movie. Yeah. And I will say this much, when I went and saw The Exorcist when they re-released it in the late 90s, early 2000s, somebody brought a 2-year-old to it. Because that's what they need at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so, give them nightmare fuel.
Yeah. I will admit, I was even fucking young for it at the time. I was like 14 when I went and saw the original Exorcist in theaters. Yeah, no, not a good idea. Not at all a good idea. But, yeah, and if it seems like we're rambling on this, I will say that much. Even when I'm trying to...
jackhole pissed me off.
But on top of everything, it's like, I will say, when it comes to the actual movie itself, Hardcore Henry is... I don't always want to sit there and talk about it a whole lot. Not because it's a bad movie I don't want to talk about. But more because I want people just to go see it.
Yeah.
It's just go pay the price and go see it. I would say this movie is easily worth it to go see in theaters. I would say probably go see it in theaters. I don't think you would get quite the immersion to see it on the small screen if you see it on your TV or if you watch it on a computer because you're a psycho. Mm-hmm. But I think you should probably go see it in theaters. And you probably won't go soon because I'm not going to be out very long. Much just because it's such a hard R and everything. Here's a ladybug on my windshield wiper. ADD kicked in.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till afterwards to say something about that.
But yeah, I would say just go see it, have fun, and just kind of turn your brain off, because it's gonna be one of those movies that if you try to
analyze, try to overthink it.
Pretty sure if I sat here and tried to think about it and figure out why this happened, why this was that way, or anything, I'm pretty sure I would find a million fucking plot holes. Or I'd find, well, why do this if this could be done in this or that? Why was this one? Why was Henry the only one that was able to get out from the sort of mind control, but it wasn't mind control thing? Why there wasn't a fail-safe and this or that? Like I said, I'm pretty sure if I dissect this movie to bits, I am going to hate it. But it's not a movie meant to be done
Well,
that
he's
way.
the first one they tried the emotional motivation with.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, why don't you have like a little thing you go, boop? Yeah, it's one of those that it has its flaws in the fact that it's messy in its writing. But it's not meant to be a clean cut. It's not supposed to be The Revenant. It's not supposed to be Inglourious Basterds, which even then I don't think is a very well-written movie at times. It's not meant to be Django Unchained, Wolf of Wall Street, any of these like millions of other movies that are meant to be well written and received and wanted as like Oscar bait or anything like that. Bless you. It's not meant to be one of those. It's just meant to have fun with, and that's why I tell everybody, it's like when you come in this movie, just go in it to have fun. Don't go in it because you want to watch like some kind of auteur. No, just watch it just so you can fucking have fun. Just enjoy the shit out of yourself. Well, maybe actually enjoy the shit out of yourself. I think the first guys that came in, I'm pretty sure I heard them like opening up beer bottles or something. I was like, that certainly didn't sound like a soda. I'm drinking a nice cold Diet Coke out of a beer bottle, huh? I don't know. It sounded like a beer bottle. I might be totally mistaken.